Now we're going to hear it directly from 10-10-1. Please welcome.
Is this thing on? There we go. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Eric. Hi, Oleg. Hello, BTC Prague. Shall we have some fun? All right. I'm Philip, founder of 10-10-1. Bitcoin. Peer-to-peer money. Censorship resistant. Verify. Don't trust. We all heard these words before, right? We can even quote Michael Saylor, who said, Bitcoin is a set of cyber hornets behind an encrypted wall of energy. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty awesome. Anyway, Bitcoin is decentralized money, censorship resistant. But if you want to trade Bitcoin today, it's nothing of that. It is centralized, it is custodial, and you have to trust. It's not how Satoshi designed Bitcoin in the first place. It's actually exactly the opposite. And this trust has been misused more than once. Those of us who have been there before, in the early days remember Mt. Gox. I mean, it's been over 10 years, and we get our Bitcoin back, right? Did we learn from this? No. Over the last 10 years, several exchanges have been hacked, and they've lost money all over and over again. Millions and millions and billions of dollars were gone missing. And just 2 weeks ago, DMM, a Japanese exchange, got hacked and lost over $300 million of customer funds. They were highly regulated. They followed the best practices. But still, the money got missing out of a cold storage, out of a 2 out of 3 multisig. So our money is not safe. And we can't rely on the regulators neither. They will just say, I'm going to regulate you even harder. I'm going to add more KYC, more restrictions, more hoops you have to jump through as a centralized exchange. Like, if you want to start a centralized exchange in Europe today, you have to pay around 200 to 500,000 euros just to be compliant. The regulators, they don't care. They probably don't even want us to trade, right? So we have to take it on our own hands, build it ourselves, like DeFi. DeFi is the answer. And I'm not talking about those dinos on Ethereum, which are decentralized in name only. No, I'm talking about decentralized finance, censorship resistant and distributed. But Philip, we can't have nice things on Bitcoin, right? We don't have an EVM. We don't have a Turing complete language. Like, how would you build DeFi on Bitcoin? It doesn't work, right? Wrong. We actually can have. And the answer for this is discrete log contracts. DLCs have been around since quite a while, since 2017 to be precise, and they're actually not that complex. They're very simple. They work like this. Let's say we have Alice and Bob who want to bet against each other. And what they do is they lock up funds in a multisig. And from here on, it's already way better than a centralized exchange, because now both parties, Alice and Bob, know that the money is actually there. They see it on-chain. And from there, they generate a set of CETs, contract execution transactions. And they need one CET for each possible outcome of the bet. So if they want to trade against each other, there might be hundreds or thousands of CETs. And then they need an oracle which attests to the price at the end of the bet, and then one of those CETs will become valid, and the trade is settled. This is a vanilla on-chain DLC, and with this you can already build cool on-chain financial products like options and futures. What we did is we moved this to another layer, like an L2, like Lightning, and achieved near instant trading, like perpetual futures, or in other words, DeFi. Meet 10-10-1, 10101, which is the binary representation of 21, as in 21 million Bitcoin. And with this, we represent the ethos of Bitcoin, censorship resistant and decentralized. Our mission is to make non-custodial trading the standard, because there is only non-custodial Bitcoin. Everything else is an IOU. And our mission is to remove counterparty risk, to have really no centralized party, no intermediary, no centralized exchange, no boring depositing and withdrawing from centralized exchanges, pure peer-to-peer trading. And what we did is we took the complex protocol of DLCs and wrapped it into an easy-to-use application, the 1010 app. The 1010 app is a non-custodial wallet which allows you to send and receive on Lightning. It is accountless, but most importantly, it allows you to trade without counterparty risk. So you don't have to trust your counterparty. We also have a pretty cool feature called USDP. P stands for perpetuals, and it is a synthetic stablecoin where you don't have a token issuer, no other blockchain. It is literally just sats and a bit of cryptography. USDP means you are stable in US dollar terms, but you can't transact on Lightning. We also have a specific application for institutions, which can either be hosted or self-hosted, and it runs as a web interface in the browser, and it has more advanced features for professional traders because we know they need different features than retail users. For example, like multi-user access, because in institutions you might have certain traders who are only allowed to trade but not to withdraw or deposit. And of course, for institutions, we also have the USDP features, so they can manage the treasury in US dollar terms without having a bank account. The market we are after is enormous. Like the global crypto derivatives market is above $36 trillion. And this is only taking the top few exchanges into account. If you only look at the Bitcoin derivatives market, it is still above $13 trillion, and this includes both CeFi and DeFi. This is our target market to go after. We're starting with perpetual futures with Bitcoin to USD as a start. And we're not alone in this space. We got a few competitors, among others, LN Markets, BitMEX, Bybit, DYDX. But we are the only one who really offer non-custodial trading, where you can be sure that there is no rehypothecation of your Bitcoins. You don't know that of LN Markets. You don't know that of BitMEX or Bybit. In 1010 we don't take custody of the users' funds, meaning we don't even have to be not evil. We can't be evil. We cannot take the money from the users. We launched earlier this year on our application, and we have some early traction. We just have just below 30 Bitcoin in total annualized total trading volume, but we got a bright future in front of us. Right now, we are working on USDP, which allows you to be stable in US dollar terms and send this on Lightning. Think of a hot wallet where you have a stable balance like US dollars, but you have sats sending around. We are also looking to integrate into BTC Pay Server as a plugin so that merchants can receive stablecoins, because we know that merchants, they are very careful with the fragility of Bitcoin. We're also working together with the Cashier team to bring out stable nuts, meaning stable eCash, which uses our implementation. We're also looking into building with Arc to have a more liquidity-efficient application, and we are looking forward to work with Taproot Assets and RGBs to bring out collateralized lending. Like you put up Bitcoin as a collateral, and then you get a loan in US dollar terms. And all of this under one umbrella, the 1010 app. One app, all things Bitcoin. I'm not alone on this. I got a pretty awesome team behind me, sitting there in the middle. We got Lucas, the inventor of DLC channels, Richie, who has over 10 years experience at IBM and our distributed system expert, and Science, who's our Bitcoin evangelist and community manager. We got experience in trading for the last few years. We started with atomic swaps, and we were the first one who built Monero Bitcoin atomic swaps, which was also implemented in the Samurai wallet. And we were the first winners of the Wolf cohort in New York last year, which was pretty fun. Highly recommended for everyone. I get your vote, right? All right. That sounds all good, right? Sounds all good? Figured out the tech, got an awesome team, you know the market, you know the competitions. What could go wrong? No one cares about this, Philip. Non-custodial trading is just an edge case. Trading is just for degens anyway. Bitcoin is for hodling only. Didn't you learn anything of FTX or Mt. Gox? Non-custodial trading is for Bitcoiners. If you're a trader and if you're in Bitcoin, there is only non-custodial trading. Everything else is an IOU. If you're into Bitcoin and trading, there is only 10-10-1. There is no second best. Thank you.
So, oh, you have some fans here. So, judges, are you going to judge and ask some very tough questions?
Easy ones, please. Only easy.
Not easy. You want some good feedbacks.
On the hardest questions. So the stablecoin, the USDP concept is something that you've introduced a little bit more recently. I know we don't have a ton of time, but just as quickly as you can you tell us a little bit about the implementation and just how it works at a high level?
So USDP is basically a short position against Bitcoin, meaning you are basically betting that the Bitcoin price goes down. So if the Bitcoin price goes down, you get more Bitcoin. And with this, the value of your position remains stable. So a very simple napkin math example. You want to go $100 worth of Bitcoin stable. You have to put up $100 worth of Bitcoin, your counterparty as well. And if the price goes down, you get some Bitcoin from the other party so that you always hold $100 worth of Bitcoin. If the price goes up, you give up some Bitcoin to the other party, but you're still stable in US dollar terms.
So one of the big questions to me about this type of a business is when you're comparing CeFi to DeFi, within the crypto market, why do people want to actually use DeFi? And when you apply that to Bitcoin, do you think it's aligned with similar incentives?
Oh, pretty simple question. Like, if you're a Bitcoiner, you either go non-custodial or you're not a real Bitcoiner to me. You better check if you're really bullish on Bitcoin. Like, do you want Bitcoin because it's censorship resistant? Or do you want Bitcoin because it's a number go up money and you only want to sell it to US dollars later? If we believe that Bitcoin is going to disrupt the world, then it has to be censorship resistant. It has to be held custodial. So there is no other way. And we don't have to make advertisement for this ourselves neither. Like, those exchanges go down like dead flies.
There is apparently different trader personas that comprise the trillion worth of trading market and derivatives. And they use different venues, which are distribution for trading products. So what's your assumption of like how many of this trading volume is actually attributed to like true Bitcoin traders who would care about self-custody, and how much of this trading volume is attributed to degenerate traders who don't care about custody because they're just like used to trade all the time with like large leverage. So and the other part of it is like, what's your distribution to get to the right customers with the trading volume that you expect?
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I would say probably around 90% they don't care about this today. And it's same as having an insurance. You don't care about the insurance. You only care about the insurance once something happens. And we had institutions reaching out to us who were affected by FTX. And before that, they didn't care about this. They said, I'm going to be fine. But once you got hit once, you know this hurts, and then you look for alternatives. So I think the space is probably small today, but it keeps growing and keeps growing. And if you keep praising the core idea of Bitcoin, that it's censorship-resistant money, then this will just keep growing as well.
See, and that makes a bunch of sense. Removing rehypothecation risk, removing a lot of that. You're talking about building out a lending business. I think that makes a lot of sense. At the institutional level, I could see why that would be targeted, but you have the consumer side of the app built out as well. And that's what you guys have been learning from as you've been accumulating data, correct? So like, what do you learn? Is the pivot into institutional because you think that is the type of customer that you want to be targeting over time and the retail experience isn't the ideal?
That's a tough question. So my heart is more with the retail users, because those are the ones who get really affected from exchange hacks. Like, I didn't have any option to sue Mt. Gox and get my money back. But if you're a big institution, you can pay lawyers and try to get something. So that's why we started with the retail users and with a mobile app. but I think the big money, the big market is on the institution levels. And they get interested now with the ETFs coming out, and they will start looking into alternatives relatively soon, in my opinion, once they understand the core ideas of Bitcoin.